You can always be thinner. Look better.
3 reasons your hair sucks as a man.
I'm not ugly, but if I was...
I tried Looksmaxxing for 7 days to prove it's
This is why your eyebrows are stopping you from being attractive.
I'm gonna show you 3 ways that Vaseline can literally make you more attractive.
Looksmaxxing has taken the internet by storm the last couple of years. And all you've got to do is look on YouTube and maybe even TikTok. It raises the questions, do looks matter? Can you go from chum bucket to a certified box smasher? But the big question we want to ask is, has Looksmaxxing gone too far?
First one we'll start off with is, obviously, looks do matter. It's just a question of whether you can change that.
Hollywood will have you believe that if you're a nerd, bit of a bloater, bit of a porker, that you can get the girl of your dreams.
It was always a case of the good-looking one, she gets what she wants in the end, and it was always the evil stepsisters. These are stories that are like old as time themselves. Everybody knows that people just naturally trust good-looking people.
That's why every enemy in every film, for like 2000 backwards, is a Ming Penguin from the Batman. He's gross.
Yeah, a lot of these people, when they're coming online and moaning about genetics, what it is it's an avoidance of the fact that they don't like the fact that some things are set in stone.
Genetics isn't something you go and escape.
No,
it's just not.
You can make the most of what you've got. If you're short, what's the best you can do? You can lie about it by wearing heels.
Get a pair of Air Force Ones.
Yeah.
Add an inch to that 5'6". Do you know what I mean? Could all do with an extra inch.
You've seen all the TikToks. Girls want guys who are 6 foot tall plus.
What is the minimum height a guy has to be for you to date him?
I'd like to say like 6 foot.
How would you get around that? No matter how peng you are. Anybody who's familiar with Wheat Waffles' content, they've seen the picture where there's 3 guys in the gym. They're all tops off, looking jacked. One of them's about 5'5". It's just like...
is that, yeah, you got your little brother with you.
Yeah, I don't even want slating, but girls aren't going to look at him. No matter how peng he is, no matter how in shape he is, girls always can be like, the next one's hairline. Obviously there is something you can do about that. You can get a hair transplant, but that all comes... What are you laughing at?
Who are you laughing at?
Or there's another thing you can do. You can go on YouTube and say why every man should go bald and cope your way out of it by trying to tell everyone why you and Cobra Tate are the same guy.
You either get the transplant, and the problem is, even when you get the transplant, from what I've looked into, you still have to take finesse drive for the rest of your life. At that point, you are 100% in. You've got to take that for the rest of your life, or you can do what everybody else is. Have you seen microneedling? You can microneedle, you can put minoxidil in every day. Because you got to think, there's a lot of overlap between health lifestyle and Looksmaxxing.
There is.
In one breath, everyone's saying you need to stop having seed oils, you need to cut out all the toxins in the water, things like that. But in the same breath, they're putting loads of chemicals in the body all the time to make themselves look better.
And that shows, to me, perfectly what they got into self-improvement for. They didn't get into that for health as well. Yeah. They got into that ego feed to look panged. They didn't get that for any other reason. Draw a bit of beard and that.
I can understand it to some degree. For want of a better term, if you are one of these guys who's a so-called sub-5, I can understand why you'd give everything to try and look better. Do you know what I mean? You do the Mewing, you do the hair transplant, you're wearing shoes with a 4-inch heel. You'll never see the world through their eyes, you know what I mean? No. And to some degree, it will work. But then you see a lot of these clickbait titles that you're seeing on the internet. And a lot of them is because they're wanting to get your viewership on their content, and they're wanting to either sell you a course or a supplement. Case in point, the thumbnail we'll throw up now. We're selling you a natural diuretic supplement. No, the pictures that you've got in there are poor lighting, poor grooming, and you are pre-bulk, i.e. you are over 20% body fat. The after photo, good lighting, well groomed.
From the side, peng jaw and that.
14% body fat.
Yeah, the difference. Doing a little pose and that, you know what I mean? Sometimes I'm looking at him, I'm like, gee, where can I get me a snack like that? But other times, his purpose is showing pictures of himself where he's looking crusty. Look at men's maxing, before, bit chubby, bit of a minger, a little bit of a minger. But you saw behind that there's something there. Genetically, he'd been gifted. Now all he's done is lived up to that potential. And now he looks like a legitimate Austrian Chad. Do you know what I mean? He's got his skincare routine, he's yamming on the mastic gum, got a funky little haircut going on. And when it comes to potential, you have to realise that there is a ceiling to this sort of thing. If you've been dealt a bad hand genetically, let's say you've got a sunken in chin, there's not a lot you can do to get around that. You build your physique up, you get your little skincare routine going on, you can do everything right, get yourself a funky little haircut and that, and you're like haircut number 2.
I prefer haircut number 4.
I understand.
Yeah.
There's not a lot you can do when the elephant in the room is your sunken in chin.
Yeah.
And that's to the point where you've got to start getting crazy with it and get 5-figure surgeries going on. You start mewing so hard that your ears naturally go back.
But then there's also, you're going at the point of diminishing returns with a lot of these things. How much can you realistically, like I say, you can only pack on so much muscle. You can only mew so much. There's a point where
You've got to speak sometime, haven't you?
If you go to the gym and you smash it for 5 years, there's a point where you just stop gaining strength and stop gaining
You're
muscles.
maintaining then, yeah.
That's just how it is, and there's going to be a point with a lot of these things, mewing or buying these supplements that apparently stretches your spine another ½ inch. You know what I mean? No matter what you do, there's only so much you can add to what you've got.
I'd share a similar view to Wheat Waffles on this, where you're probably only naturally going to gain 3 levels through Looksmaxxing self-improvement, try and change yourself. Let's say you're a bit of a bloater before and you lose all the weight. That's where you'll see the biggest changes in a body. I'm not saying everyone needs to give up, but if you're a 1.5 out of 10 to begin with, do the maths.
And people don't like that.
There's got to be a point where you've got to be realistic, man.
It works both ways because people don't like that because they can't accept the hard truths. And like I say, I don't
want to tear people down.
No, I understand that. If you're one of these guys who's 1.5 and you're 2 out of 10, and we're here saying you can only ever become 5 out of 10.
It's a sad reality.
Yeah, it's devastating. But then there's the other side of it. There's obviously going to be guys online who are telling you can become an 8. Why? Ka-ching. Another thing is where we're talking about like genetics and biology and these things are set in stone. You've got the halo effect. People just naturally associate good genetics with good opinions, well-rounded individuals. That's a thing called physiognomy. That's why the halo effect's a real thing. You're used to the guys at the top of the society being the Jap Knights, the Jap Monarchs.
Yes. I remember talking to a boomer about politics. I remember them saying about Boris Johnson when he was in. I remember them saying that what I like about him is he's relatable, he's an everyman. Which I think that's a massive cope because it's like, I don't want to every man. I want to chisel Chad.
Then there's the more crazier aspect of Looksmaxxing, and a lot of this comes down to it's more money than it is genetics and potential. What can you afford? You've got guys online, a lot of these manosphere, red pill content guys, whether you call them grifters or not, whether you think they're doing what's right, bro, how much are these guys spending in plastic surgery?
It's not very well spoken about, but I think it's a big point that needs to be made.
Bro, some of these guys must be spending upwards of 6 figures, but then don't come online and say, oh yeah, this is just me maxing my potential. Man, a lot of people can't afford $4,000 for a hair transplant, and that's if you're willing to go Turkey and have it done.
And then we come to the sponge wall aspect, the crazy sort of stuff. I'm talking that kid who was smashing his jaw with a hammer to reshape it, and you've got your geezers having lip fillers.
When you're a guy and you're having lip fillers, do you know what I mean? Lip fillers don't look good on girls. Being groomed and being presentable, that's a masculine trait. It shows you've got your shit together. Yeah, but I'm all for that.
Yeah.
But I don't know, man, having lip filler. What's that for? Where are them lips going?
Suspect.
Why do you want big round lips?
What am I doing this for? Some of the common things that I can think, you're doing it for women, get a bit of skirt. But realistically, if you've dodged your genetics by getting all these surgeries, by doing all this wacky stuff, you procreate, you're passing your genetics down to your child. Think you're not going to get your 6-month-old baby mewing, doing mastic gum and that, are you? Do you know what I mean?
How many of these guys in the comments, 15, 16, how many a lot of these problems that these guys are saying they've got, they call themselves a sub 5 at 15. Is it a case you just need to wait for puberty?
Yes.
Do you know what I mean? Guys who are 15, microneedling the beards and pouring minoxidil. It's like
mental.
You're not meant to have a beard at 15. If you believe in Looksmaxing and you're one of these young lads who makes it your life, I probably wouldn't do it, but it is what it is. You'll probably grow out of it. But if you're one of these guys who's peddling this,
it's like a better man course.
Yes, I just don't.
Having one-to-ones with a guy who was Butters and is now Peng.
What he isn't telling you is he spent $100,000 on surgery. You know, that $100,000 that you've given him to tell him how to look better.
Yeah. I think what it boils down to is the pursuit for perfection is a never-ending torrent. There is no such thing as perfect in this world, and society will probably have you believe that perfection is attainable. But realistically, it's not. And if it is, you'll have to spend £100,000 on surgeries. It doesn't add up. I think that a lot of people need to spend a bit of time in the mirror. And I don't mean physically, I mean mentally, spend a bit of time in the mirror and think, what do I need to get out of life? Because when this is all done and you're a certified Chad, you're looking all nice, you've got that big jawline like Donald Trump when he's mewing. There has to be something more to this, there has to be a purpose to your existence, and being Peng probably is not that.
I think the question you've got to ask yourself is how much this is going to benefit you and what's going to be the cost in terms of whether it's finances or whether it's time given to this. Is Looksmaxxing going to give you a better life? Probably is, yeah. If you're going to maximise potential, as we've shown things like the halo effect, it's going to open more doors for you. But if it's going to get to a point where it's an obsession and you're just completely thinking about, oh my god, I haven't mewed in 5 seconds, my jaw's going to fall off, then you're probably taking it a bit too far.
King, you want to get these? Do this. Follow for more.